Now at 6, why the Carthage Tigers baseball program is left without a home after the city closes the stadium. Plus, Missouri joins 10 other states in a bill to allow the right to repair for farm equipment. And we'll hear from a Fort Scott couple on the behind-the-scenes work of their long-lasting love story.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A baseball stadium in Carthage closes because of safety concerns. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. The Carl Luton Stadium in Carthage has been home to the Carthage Tigers baseball program for more than 50 years. Until now. KOAM Shagun Bamadeli has more.
The Carthage Tigers have been left homeless after Carthage city engineer declared Carl Luton Stadium unfit and unsafe for occupancy. The city closed the stadium to games.
We have a situation of black mold. We have electrical wires that are exposed. The concrete is bursting. It's breaking down. Water has gotten into that, so it's a hazard for people. It's just an unsafe environment. And of course, once we're made aware of the full severity of the situation, we really don't have any other option.
The superintendent of Carthage Schools says the news came as a surprise.
We had received a call from the city regarding what they believe is unsafe. It's something I think everybody recognized. It has been like that for many years, but for some reason the city determined at this point the best thing is to shut it down.
Since baseball season starts in less than a month, the school district is looking for other places to play.
Once we were notified by the city that the field would not be able to use for games, we started searching for places to play our home games. We'll still have a season, we'll still have a place to practice, or just searching for something for our 10 or 11 home games.
The kids can still practice on the field. We just can't have any of the general public or spectators in up and around on the stands and in the building in any way.
But they do not have much time to find a place to play. The baseball season starts in March. Reporting in Carthage, Shagun Bamadeli, KOAM News.
The Parks and Rec Director says city leaders will meet to discuss their next step. Chief Meteorologist Doug Eddy joins us now with a first look at the weather.
Well, of course, we got some much needed rain for us today, and also very windy, and we stay in the wind advisory as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight, as the winds stay at least decently strong over the next several hours. Look at this big batch of rain that we had earlier today, secondary batch in our northern counties, but most of us are drying out now. You can see the classic comma shape of this whole storm system. So this one is moving out. Next one is going to roll in as we get into the overnight hours for us tomorrow night. But rainfall amounts, most of us picked up about a ½ inch of rain, which is great. Officially at the airport in Joplin, 0.42 puts us at 1.77 inches for the month of February. And the winds are still fairly strong. We have these southerly winds still 20 to 30 and then gusts near 40 miles per hour. But these are going to start to calm down. Of course, we're going to talk about our next storm system here in just a bit.
A Missouri judge today overturned the conviction of Lamar Johnson, a St. Louis man who spent nearly 28 years in prison for a murder he says he did not commit. Johnson, now 50, was convicted of murder for the 1994 fatal shooting of Marcus Boyd. Police and prosecutors blamed the killing on a dispute over drug money. Johnson maintained he was innocent from day one, saying he was with his girlfriend miles away when the crime occurred. The case for Johnson's release was centered around a key witness who recanted his testimony, a prison inmate who says it was he, not Johnson, who participated in that murder. 11 states, including Missouri, are considering a right to repair for farming equipment. The states introduced bills that would force farming equipment manufacturers to provide the tools, software, parts, and manuals needed for farmers to do their own repairs. The bills are a response to farmers unable to repair their own tractors and combines, which forces them to wait sometimes days and pay steep labor costs. The proposition has found pushback from some manufacturers worried about releasing trade secrets and the safety of users. The American College of Physicians recognizes a Pittsburgh State University physician with the high-ranking award of mastership. Dr. Kathleen Sandness is grateful for the award and says she's proud to work with students and the staff at PSU's Health Center. She attributes her success to her willingness to learn and adapt.
As would any physician, especially as we see more and more students that have had things like heart transplants. They've had lymphomas, bone marrow transplants. So it's a more difficult patient population many times in a health consideration.
The Mastership Award is the highest attainable award for college physicians. Still ahead, their love started at a roller rink and they've been on a roll now for more than 60 years. A Fort Scott couple shares their story. Plus, some Frontenac students share what Valentine's Day means to them. Love can be forever, and some folks have experienced it for a long, long time. On this Valentine's Day, we visited a nursing home in Joplin for some advice on what to do for a successful relationship. That includes sometimes doing things that aren't always easy.
I did something today and you missed it, but we had a party in the other room down here in the activity room.
And me and him slow danced together.
We actually danced together 2 or 3 times, and I can't hardly stand at all. But I managed to get the strength up to do it because I wanted to dance with her.
Well, good for them. Happy Valentine's Day. Happily ever aftering. If you'd like to submit a picture of who you think about for Valentine's Day, we'd love to see it. Go online to our Facebook page, KOAM News Now, and find our pinned post. It's a story for the decades and an appropriate one for this Valentine's Day. KOAM's Yana Hautala introduces us to a Fort Scott, Kansas couple celebrating more than 60 years of marriage.
We didn't really even know each other at the time, and he skated, I skated, and he just came. You ask somebody to skate, you partners and you skate, and we just started skating, and there we went.
Jonah Kay and Larry Ballou fell in love on the skate rink.
We kept on skating though, about every night skating, and
we was pretty much together after that.
Yeah, we never separated after that.
The couple got married in 1957. They were both teenagers. They now had 3 children, 6 grandchildren and 1 step-grandchild, 13 great-grandchildren and 3 step-great-grandkids.
Had to find a good job.
Yeah, you had to find a job. Back then they was hard to come by.
There wasn't any jobs. I mean, he worked at a gas station when we got married. They pumped your own gas for you.
The couple says marriage is like a job. You don't have it if you don't work for it every day in your life.
Sometimes you don't talk to each other for a day, but then it's forgotten and you go on.
You just go on and it's like it never happened, Whatever your spout was about, it wasn't that important. Right. What was important, it was us. And that's what you have to remember, what's important in your life together. What you have, what you're going to have, because you won't have it if you don't work for it.
During their years of marriage, the couple has traveled through states by car. Their advice, don't hurry to get to the destination. Rather, enjoy the time traveling with each other.
We're up in the mountains, and we come down the mountain into this little town, and it was so unique. We just stayed there all day, walked around. Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, we didn't.
There was no to here to there. When you take a vacation, it should be a vacation.
Taking it a day at a time to keep this love rolling. In Fort Scott, Yana Hautala, KOAM News.
The couple still lives in Johnny Kay's childhood home, a place they say is always open to family and friends. Sounds like they have a lot of both. Students at Frank Layden Elementary School in Frontenac, Kansas are celebrating Valentine's Day with a class party. Students passed out candy and toys. Chocolate was a class favorite.
Yeah, I handed it to all my friends and my 2 teachers. Because it's mostly like you get to celebrate like with your family and stuff.
Kids passed out candy, notes, and even whoopee cushions. They say they had a blast with those. A little bit later, a Pitt State baseball player earns MIAA Hitter of the Week honors.
Storm system to move in tomorrow night. Those details coming up. Well, of course, we had the showers. We had the thunderstorms across the region during the morning hours and then some sunshine this afternoon, a few more showers this evening. Now we are starting to clear out. looks pretty good, still very windy, and that's what we're going to see as we go through the overnight hours tonight. Nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. All right, look at our temps. Most of us still sitting mid to upper 50s, 60 at Grand Lake, 57 in Carthage. A little bit cooler once you get in our northern counties. Yates Center at 50, Iola is sitting at about 50 degrees, but still the winds sticking around. Southerly winds anywhere from 20 to 30. Now, these are going to start to die down a little bit tonight, but look at our wind gusts. We're still kind of in that 40, 45 mile per hour range, which is moving pretty good. But look at the winds. They calm down after midnight tonight. Now, tomorrow's going to be breezy, just not near as windy as what we had during the daytime hours for us today. Outside, 7th, the range line, partly cloudy skies, sitting at 58, southerly winds at about 18. Humidity is at 49%. Through the overnight hours, we drop back through the 50s, 40s, eventually down to about 39 for an overnight low. So it is going to be a little bit colder than what we have seen. You can see a little batch of showers with our upper level low that is passing by, but most of this now is north of the area, so we look pretty good. But look at this whole storm system. Very classic, comma-shaped system. This system's heading out. This system's going to head in as we go into Wednesday night and then Thursday morning. So let's step through time, mid to upper 30s. By morning, we're going to start the day with sunshine. As we go through the day, depending on where you live, depends on what kind of weather you're going to have. You can see clouds in our northern counties, but sunny in our southern counties. Also, look at the winds. We have a front right here. So Delaware County, McDonald County, Benton County is probably going to push 70. And then most of us are going to top out into the 50s, but our northern counties will stay in the 40s. So there may be about a 25 degree, temperature spread across the region as we go into overnight hours for us tomorrow night. So that's something that we'll have to keep our eyes on. Then our next storm system will start to affect us as we get into tomorrow night. Clouds will start to increase, showers will increase. So here's 9 p.m. Scattered showers, even a random thunderstorm. Look at a little bit of pink popping up toward Yates Center, Chanute, Fredonia, and Neodesha. So here's about 11 p.m. Most of us stay rain, but we are going to get a little sleet, a little bit of snow mixing in our northern counties. Out of here Thursday morning. Then Thursday, just a lot of clouds and cold. High temps, only about 34, 35 degrees. So much, much colder than what we have seen. All right, tomorrow night, northern counties, maybe a little bit of sleet, a little bit of snow. Does not look like a big deal. 39 to start tomorrow, 55 by noon, 58 for a high. Again, we're going to have that big temperature spread across the region. And then a high of only 34 on Thursday, 44 Friday. The weekend is looking pretty good, pushing 60 again by Sunday. A few showers on Monday and Tuesday. A much bigger system moves in Wednesday and Thursday of next week. So next week looks like another active week. But again, this weekend, we get a pretty good weekend again.
And no football to distract us.
I know. What are we going to do?
How about dream about football?
Yeah.
Relive last Sunday. Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, the Joplin boys host a rivalry game tonight against Webb City, and Player of the Week honors for Pitt State catcher Nixon Brandon. Jacob Leonard has that and more up next.
Well, the Joplin Eagles have just 10 days and 5 games remaining in the basketball regular season. The first of those 5 is tonight at home against COC rival Webb City. And Joplin won 5 of 6 coming into the night. On the other side, Webb City aims to snap a 3-game losing streak. That one will begin at about 7:15 at Joplin High School. We'll be there. We'll have highlights from the game right here tonight at 10. The Missouri Southern Lions are off to a 6-2 start to the baseball season. Over the weekend, the Lions went on the road and dropped 2 of 3 against Delta State. And this afternoon, Southern tries to rebound, returning home for a non-conference game against East Central. In the first inning, Lions right to work with runners on the corners. Ethan Clark drives it off the fence and right. Henry Kuziak scores. Here comes Will Doherty sliding in behind him. Southern already up 5-0. Then later in the inning with 1 on, Nate Miskowski high and deep to left center. Clears the fence out there for the 2-run homer. First of the season for Miskowski. Lions get 8 in the first, but they're not done there. In the second, 2 on for Ryan Doran. Dead center, no problem. Clears the 400 sign out there. 3-run jack. Doran drives in 6 runs this afternoon. Missouri Southern pounds East Central tonight 20-1. Well, Pittsburgh State catcher Nixon Brannon is this week's MIAA hitter of the week. Brannon was a monster for the Gorillas in their weekend series against Regis. In 4 games, he hit for a .412 average with a double, 3 home runs, and 12 RBIs. Pitt State was 3-1 in those games. They're now 5-2 overall and will be back on the field on Friday afternoon hosting Sioux Falls. The Kansas City Chiefs will celebrate their Super Bowl championship tomorrow with a parade in Kansas City. The Chiefs beat the Philadelphia Eagles 38-35 Sunday in Super Bowl 57 to claim their 2nd championship in the last 4 years. Now, as is tradition, Chiefs quarterback and Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes celebrated yesterday with a trip to Disneyland. Mahomes threw for 3 touchdowns Sunday, earning his 2nd Super Bowl MVP award. Before his trip to Disneyland, though, he spoke to the media Monday morning to talk about the journey from preseason to Super Bowl champions.
Taking in this whole year and everything that's came with it, man, I just wanted to thank my teammates. It was a heck of a run. We started out in OTAs in Dallas, Texas, then went to Kansas City, to St. Joe's, and then we ended up back here in AZ, man, winning the Super Bowl. And so I just want to thank my teammates, all the hard work they put in, my coaches, Coach Reed, and all the coaches that helped me be who I am, the Chiefs organization, and my family for supporting me every day. It's been an amazing run these last 5-6 years, and let's keep it rolling.
And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly announces a new set of grants to go toward the state's Family First prevention programs. Plus, questions and intrigue swirling around those unidentified objects shot down over the U.S. And if you love Peeps marshmallows, you're probably going to love a new soda collaboration. And I guess conversely, if you don't, maybe you won't. Those stories and a lot more tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Well, it is Valentine's Day. We have reminded you so you don't have any excuses. So how about an animal love story? This one's from rural Iowa, where a lonely goose has found her sweetheart. Steve Carlin has that story.
Geese flock to Riverside Cemetery in Marshalltown all the time to be with their friends. But one bird named Blossom was lonely and longing for love.
Blossom came to us a few years ago with another domestic goose. We named them Bud and Blossom.
You see, Bud passed away this year. That's when the cemetery noticed Blossom acting up.
Standing in front of our office door and pecking on the glass, and then she's pooing on our doormat.
The cemetery had to do something with the silly goose. So they played matchmaker and posted an ad on Facebook. Blossom, single, ready to mingle.
She's a sweetheart.
Within days, the cemetery helped Blossom find a new love, Frankie. They got a call from a couple that was moving out of state, and they can't take their male goose, a bachelor himself, with them. It's a heartwarming tale tailored so perfectly to these two lovebirds. It might just give you goosebumps.
Blossom went online and another goose swiped right, and there you go.
There you go.
The weather.
All right, it's still staying windy for us tonight. Cooler down to about 39, 58 on Wednesday.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 10. Let's make it a great evening.